Hi friends, my name is Bruce Wood. I'm here at the Woodshed Gallery in Franklin, Massachusetts with Robin Wessman, who's our featured artist right now. Robin is an oil painter, and not just any old oil painter. He's one who has successfully combined styles. He's working in a realistic style, a little bit impressionistic, but not so much, and he seems to be actually leaning toward hyperrealism. It's a very interesting combination of influences he's brought together in his work, and we have him here to give his own introduction to you. So Robin, here you go.
Thanks, Bruce. Yeah, most of the work that I have are landscapes from southeastern Massachusetts and along the Rhode Island coast. I like working along the water mostly because I do like having water in my paintings. What I have here, just to start off, is a series of landscapes this one's out on Cape Cod. You can see there is no water on it. It's actually a field that I had driven by a number of times, and at one point it just really struck me. So I pulled over, pulled out my gear, started painting, and this is what I ended up with. It was in the fall, had some real nice colors to it, and had some nice depth in terms of the atmosphere that it was creating. So to me, that I really liked the light, and I really liked the shape of the tree and the grass and so forth around it. So it just really struck me as an interesting place to paint. This one right here, which is in Falmouth, there's an island that I spent about a week just painting every day. It was a great opportunity to be out on this island, and you can see the water would come up and right up to the house that we were at. On this one here, the tide had gone out, so I actually pulled up my gear, sat out right on where the water was, and painted for a couple of hours. I usually work 4 or 5 paintings at a time, so I'll work on one for a little while, put it aside, and then go work on another one. But very, very rarely do I start a painting outside and actually finish it outside. Pretty much most of the time they're finished within the studio. So again, these are some water scenes. Here's another one. This is actually in Little Compton, Rhode Island. It's a marsh area, which was really a beautiful day. It was out early in the morning. It was very quiet out there, except for the waves coming up, which were kind of like a little bit over here to my left. The thing with painting outdoors is always a lot of wildlife, some interesting things going on, just the quietness, the sounds of there's a lot of birds in this particular marshland, so there were birds flying everywhere. This painting is also on Cape Cod. This is Wellfleet, and this is a little bit different in the way that I did this. I actually did a couple of studies, smaller studies outside, and I also did work with some photographs on this one. So I got the composition down, the studies in acrylics, did the whole thing up, and then I came back and I worked the canvas all completely in oil, so there's no acrylic underpainting in this particular one. But what struck me about this is the way the sun sets in this particular area on the Cape along the bay side. The sun goes down and you get these incredible cloud formations, and when the sun goes down it just lights up the sky. So on this, I really liked the reflections that I was getting. It really picked up along the water, and it also picked up along these houses that are on the beach here. It had a nice feeling, and when I painted it, I wanted kind of the balance to go back and forth, but also have the real nice colors that are in the sky. And I think, in terms of the feeling that I had when I was experiencing this, that's really what I was trying to get across, and I think I came pretty close on this one. So it was a fun painting to do. Now, what I liked about this was the idea that the sun was coming up. We had this building over here, and I really kind of liked the way that the composition came into shape with the house up here. I liked the flag, but I really liked the light coming down and hitting the side of this hill, which to me really I was able to pick out some nice colors and get the feeling of the light coming up in the morning. The one down here, this is Newport, Rhode Island. This one was actually the end of the day, and it had, you know, the tones in the sky and so forth, the colors just really struck me, and I really liked the strong light that it cast the shadows and brought out the colors in the grass. So again, it just creates this kind of nice feeling, mainly with the light and the shadows. One of the activities that I enjoy as much as I do painting is to be outdoors, and in particular kayaking. I've done quite a bit of kayaking throughout the rivers in Massachusetts in particular, and this one is on the Charles River, actually in Medfield, and I had gone out one day, had my gear with me. It was really just some sketches and some pastels actually, so I was able to just do some quick sketches. I did a number of those, and this one here I titled Drifting Along the Edge, because basically that's what I was doing. I was kind of like wedged up, so I wasn't really drifting per se, but I did have my gear and I kind of did some sketches, and then I brought it back later in the studio and I finished up the painting there, made it much larger because I was only working on some small 9x12 boards. I'm not really trying to depict the scene to be an accurate description of the painting, but more it's my interpretation of what I've seen and what I've experienced, and then I do add a little bit to it. So what I'll do is then come back and I play with the light. To me, the light that's what gives it the character that I think it has, and that's what I want to come across. So I typically will work when the sunlight is strong early in the morning or late in the evening. Most of my paintings are during that time of day. I do some during the middle of the day, but they're probably less frequent. I like the strong lighting, and I do like the idea that it's almost like someone is viewing the painting from my vantage point as I'm painting it.